Our first guest is here to share the great story of University of Phoenix. Would you please join me in welcoming the Dean of Specialized Programs and Employer Partnerships Healthcare, Collene Bay Anderson. Now, when I was in school, I got called to the dean's office many times. You're a different kind of dean, right?
I'm a different kind of dean, yeah.
All right. Well, this is exciting for me because a lot of people don't know this, but I am a University of Phoenix alum. I earned my MBA in the early 2000s. So if you too one day want to host this show, go out and get your MBA from the University of Phoenix. Well, welcome to the show. First of all, share us a little bit about more detail in your role and exactly what you do for the University of Phoenix.
Sure. Being the Dean of Specialized Programs under Healthcare, I actually work with the various employers across the country and the community colleges as well. So at the university, we're really focused on building employer partnerships that work well to not only serve our own students, but of course serve the employees at those employers as well. And then also create partnerships and pathways with the community colleges that create that seamless transfer of credit. So that's really where I focus my time, is ensuring that those partnerships are in place and that we're working with our industry leaders.
And when you talk about partnerships, more specific, what type of companies are those, or what type of organizations are the ideal candidates for a partnership with the University of Phoenix, or more specifically with what you do?
More with what I do. I mean, obviously I'm in healthcare, so I'm working with a lot of hospital organizations, insurance, government agencies, public health, public service, government types of agencies, and then also, of course, your local community colleges and other types of vocational schools as well that are offering healthcare specific programs. For example, some of your local hospitals like Phoenix Children's Hospital, we work with them rather closely. We offer specific tuition benefits to their employees and then also create opportunities for potential cohorting or specific programs that their nurses might need.
We've seen a lot of changes with University of Phoenix, a lot of evolution over the years. Could you dive in a little more deeper to that? What sort of changes have we experienced?
There's been a lot of changes in the higher education realm in the last couple of years. I think one of the biggest changes for the university the last couple of years was a change of ownership. So we did go to from a publicly traded institution to a privately held institution. And we also did have a change of ownership status. So that was one of the first big changes for us. Another one of the biggest changes was we also moved our campus location. So we did have a campus location that was off of Fountainhead, and we moved over to River Point. And now we have this nice, big, beautiful new campus and new technology center and resources for our students that we did not have in the past. Or I should say we had it in the past, but now it's completely new campus, and we're all in one location as a university.
So more personally for you, outside of your role at University of Phoenix, you're also a business owner. You've got a lot of side projects. Tell us a little bit more about that so we can get to know you better.
Okay. Well, I'm a Mesa resident, so I do live here in Mesa. I've been here for the last 4.5 years or so. Woohoo! And my husband and I actually own a couple gyms, and so we do own one location in Scottsdale, and we also own a new location that actually just opened last January out in Avondale. It's called Hybrid Fit Club, and our location in Scottsdale focuses on, kind of the everyday person. We do a lot of specialized programming, training, and then the location that we have in Avondale focuses more on athletic training. So it's a baseball, softball facility. It's actually the largest facility in the state of Arizona for baseball and athletic training. So we work with athletes from 10 years old all the way up to professional athletes. And that's been going pretty well. Like I said, it's only been open the last couple of months, but it's been pretty busy. And then I also, like I said, I live here in Mesa with my husband and my daughter and 3 dogs. And then we also have 2 daughters in college.
Wow. Where do they go?
We have one. We have one that's at ASU. So she is at ASU. She's actually in her final year of teaching. So she actually just was awarded a full ride scholarship for her final year. So she'll get her teaching credentials. And my other daughter is in Northern California at Sacramento State.
I have applied several times to be a fitness trainer at many gyms across the valley. My application keeps getting denied, though. I'm not.
You can come work with me.
As far as the evolution of higher education, what is University of Phoenix doing to embrace the change or preparing itself for the change? And what should we see? Because I know many of us in the audience have young children that we need to be thinking about college one day and higher education. What can we expect?
You know, like I said, higher education is really evolving daily, and I think that with so many changes across multiple industries like technology, we see, you know, artificial intelligence and different types of IT platforms and virtual reality and all these different systems that are being integrated. Not only is the university itself, and not just UOP, but other universities are evolving to accommodate those changes, but the workforce is changing as well. So, you know, we're working really closely with different employer partners to not only meet those needs so that we can upskill the workforce of today and tomorrow so that folks can stay in those jobs, but they're also being prepared for the jobs of the future as well. Another big change that you're seeing is compared to, you know, the last couple decades, everybody was dependent on financial aid, right? Everybody was taking out student loans to be able to pay for their education. And we're seeing some major shifts across the industry where universities are coming in and they're really partnering with the employers so that those working adults have little to no out-of-pocket expense for their education. And they have more access, they have more resources, and they're not gonna be saddled with debt.
Right.
And I think that's where we're seeing things really moving.
How do we, as audience members and viewers, find out more information about the programs?
You can go to phoenix.edu and check out any of our landing pages. All of our program information is there. And then, of course, you can always come talk to me, get my business card, talk to me as well, get my phone number, and then reach out, you know, anytime. And you can contact one of our advisors online, and they can get you going.
Well, where the real money's at for our children is getting over to your fitness locations and getting them, you know, better baseball players and better athletes. Yes, yes. When my kids were born, they got assigned a sport and an instrument. So hopefully one of those will.
You have to pick one and get a scholarship.
The Powerball wasn't working out for me, so we decided to have children instead, and that's not working out either. More importantly, and I think what's on everybody's mind, tell us a little bit more about your dogs, what type of dogs they are and what their names are.
Well, I have a Great Pyrenees, and she's about a year old, and she's about 110 pounds, and she's nothing but hair. So we have fur balls all over the house. She's a big giant puppy, and then we have a little pitty rescue that we actually took home from the Mesa shelter about 3-4 months ago. And then I have a Jack Russell terrorist who likes to attack everyone and is quite ornery and mean, but he thinks he's tough, but he's about this big. So.
And my last question, again, back to us as parents, how should we be preparing for college for our kids? As far as financially or making the right decision? And what type of emphasis should we be putting on higher education?
You know, I mean, I think higher education is certainly always going to be there, you know, in terms of creating that career path for the future. I think one of the things that parents could really look at today, you know, I know a lot of us will start college funds for our kids, and that's great, and it's wonderful to have those resources. I say continue to do that, invest in your children's education, but also do your research, have your kids do their research. There are so many scholarships and grants and employers that are willing to pay for education for their employees. Take advantage of those funds. You know, take advantage of that 5250. It's just a nice big tax write-off for some of the employers out there to be able to get their education. You know, they can even work part-time and still take advantage of some of those benefits. So that's one of the things I would say to look at. You know, is just again really do your research around some of those scholarships, and then also look at specific, you know, certifications, nationally recognized industry licensure, those types of things. Especially with again IT and technology, there are so many different types of recognized certifications and different types of credentials that you can obtain that are really going to make your child stand out when it comes to hiring in the workforce and creating that career path. Because again, technology, I mean, everything's going to be automated pretty soon, so we got to get ready for that.
Wish my kids were automated.
Me too.
All right, Collene, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing the exciting events that are happening at University of Phoenix. Ladies and gentlemen, Collene Bay Anderson.
Thank you.